Yo, what is up, guys? Enki Demon, we're back with another fucking video. Yes, sir, another winning trade. That's why I'm a little hyped right now. But yeah, we got another winning trade this week, and I did break my rules. If you guys watched the last video, I said I already got 2 wins this week, so I am not actually supposed to be trading, because I'm usually okay with taking 2 wins in a week. That's 6%. So usually after 2 wins, I am done trading for the week. But today, the market conditions were perfect, guys. Like, bro, I swear I've never seen this clean price action in such a long time on NQ, especially on NQ, because NQ has not been like the best the last couple of, like, let's say 2 months or 3 months. So I don't know, these market conditions were just perfect. I remember going into the day, though, I wasn't expecting to take a trade at all because I was already done for the week. You know what I mean? But, obviously I was still tape reading and stuff because I still need to get my screen time in. I still need to look at the charts, look at price action, because that, at the end of the day, your screen time is, what builds up experience. So I was still looking at the charts even though I wasn't planning to take a trade at all. You know what I mean? So initially, I remember going into the morning, I saw this short right here. There was a short right in here. I framed this short right here, but this was the one I didn't really frame at real risk. It was just a paper trade. And then after that, after we got some expansion lower, I was like, these market conditions are looking juicy. You know what I mean? And I was looking at the 50-minute. I saw we had this 50-minute fair value gap right here. So I'm gonna give you guys a recap immediately. I'm not gonna yap today. I'm not gonna yap too much. I'm just gonna give you guys the recap. So I saw we had this 50-minute fair value gap and this 50-minute mitigation block, and I just wanted to see price respect those those PD arrays, those premium arrays. And on the 15-minute, those were my imbalances and my premium arrays on the 15-minute. On the hourly, just initially in the morning, I saw how we respected this imbalance right here, and it wasn't the most recent leg, so it's a high probability imbalance in the premium of the range. We also had this inverse, but I wasn't really putting a lot of emphasis on this inverse for value gap, because this for value gap right here, this bearish for value gap, is gonna weigh way more. Like, it's gonna have way more significance than that inverse fair value gap, because like I said, it's a fair value gap, a bearish fair value gap in the premium of the range, which makes it already a little bit more high probability. It's in the most recent leg, and it's with the order flow. The order flow on NQ is clearly bearish right now, and so this fair value gap right here is going to hold the best out of every single PD array out there. So I was really looking at this PD array right here, this fair value gap, after I saw clearly that these markets were respecting them. And then we took out this previous candle's high, and then we started dropping. I knew that NQ was just gonna give us really good, shorts. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a low resistance liquidity run lower. And this was clearly a low resistance liquidity run day. We took out liquidity, filled in this imbalance, and we just dropped lower. Today was really, really clean, guys. Like, I'm pretty sure almost every single type of trader would have made money. If you're a breakout trader, a trend line trader, ICT trader, almost every single person would have made money today. Please don't tell me you lost. Please don't tell me you tried longing this market, because then I'm sorry, but you're not really that bright in the head, because today was clearly shorts. And there's nothing more. Like, sometimes I understand why you could have longed and why you could have short in certain market conditions, but today was clearly shorts. So I'm sorry if you took a loss today trying to long these markets. You really need a journal, because you really need to see where you went wrong, and also maybe try to take notes from this video, try to take some advice from me on why I took this short. So yeah, I saw on the 15-minute we had those PD arrays that we respected, and we had this hourly PD array. So I had the hourly aligned with me, I had the 50-minute aligned with me. Now I just needed 5-minute confirmation. And so once we created this order block right here, this bearish candle right here, let me see if I can mark it out for you guys. This bearish candle right here, this one right here, that's the order block. After we traded through it and closed beneath it, that's when we got the change in the state of delivery, and that's when I was looking to enter short, because that's also that's not when the 15-minute closed. The 15-minute closed after this second bearish candle, and that's when I basically got my confirmation. And that's when I was looking to enter short, because the 15-minute closed, and 5-minute also gave me confirmation. And so I was just looking for a retracement again initially in the order block, but then I saw we created this fair value gap. So that's when I moved my entry a little bit lower, because initially my entry was up here. I moved my entry a little bit lower at the fair value gap just so I can make sure that I'm going to get filled in this trade. And yeah, I had my stop loss above the body of the order block. I really liked the 50 amount, like the 50-point stop loss is a nice amount of a stop loss. It's just not that big, but not also too small. If I would have put it above the high of the order block, it would have been almost 60 points. And for me, 60 points is already too much for NQ. So I really like that 50-point figure. And so that's where I put my stop loss. And yeah, as you guys could see, I got filled. If you look at the 1 minute, because it's more clear on the 1 minute, this is when we got that change in the state of delivery, retraced higher in one really big bullish candle. That's when I got my entry. That's when I got filled. We started already pushing lower, but then we came back one more time, took out this internal high, filled in this imbalance, tapped the order block, and that's when we got that delivery lower. And as you guys can see, this is a clear low resistance liquidity run. Like when you see these type of candles on the 1 minute, like this is like the perfect, it's a good trade because price is just melting to your TP. You know what I mean? So this is clearly a low resistance liquidity run. The markets had no reason to go higher. And yeah, again, was a really nice trade. I'm going to show you guys proof of the, I don't know which side I'm going to put it, but proof of the execution and that I did in fact take the trade. I'm going to show you guys my MT5. And yeah, again, a really nice trade. Only took what? Like I got filled at 11:16. My TP got hit at 11:33. So that's 17 minutes. Only a 17-minute trade. That was my shortest trade in a really long time. So yeah, clearly a really nice A+ trade, even though I did break my rule because I wasn't supposed to take it because I already took my 2 wins for the week. In these type of conditions, like their markets were literally just perfect, guys. They were perfect. Like I couldn't not take this trade. You know what I mean? I do suggest to follow your rules, follow your plan, and it's not something that I do a lot of times is break my rules, but in these type of conditions, like my intuition was just screaming to take the short. You know what I mean? So I decided to just break my rule, and if it was a loss, I would have take accountability for that. I'm not gonna say like if it was a fucking loser, like, oh, I made a mistake in that, because I was aware that I was breaking my rules before I entered the trade, and I still took that decision to take the trade. And so I wouldn't have been mad or anything if it was a loss. And yeah, you know what I mean? When you break your rules, at least know that you're like, at least try to be aware that you're breaking your rule and take the what the fuck am I saying? I don't know what word, the conscious decision that you're breaking your rules. And if you realize that you are breaking your rules and you still decide to take that trade because of whatever reason, it's a really good trade, and these type of trades almost always hit, then you can break your rule, and I'd say, but try to not break your rules majority of the time. Really try to just stay disciplined. And but in these type of conditions, I had to break my rule because it was just looking way too good. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, majority of the times I do follow my rules, and I try to follow my rules. And I suggest do the same. But if you are an experienced trader, when to apply your rules. That's what I'd say. If you are an experienced trader, when or when not to apply a certain rule. You know what I mean? For example, if you have a rule that you take max 1 trade per day, but you could see that in some type of scenario you just got stopped out and the trade is still really valid and it's going in a direction and it gave you another confirmation. If you are an experienced enough trader, then take a re-entry. I don't see the problem in doing that. Again, if it does end up being another losing trade, you can't be mad at yourself because you took that decision to break your rule. But if you are experienced enough and you think it's still valid, then take the trade. Again, don't do it majority of the times, but every once in a while, the market conditions are not perfect, okay? The market conditions do fluctuate, and not every single day is going to give the same price action. The markets are not always going to move the same. And so that's why I don't really like having, like, for example, one rule that I always disagree with is having a cutoff trading time. I try to always stop trading at 12. But for example, if a trade setup forms at 5 past 12, I'm not going to not take it. If it's still an A+ trade and it's really good, it looks really good, just because it's 5 minutes past 12 doesn't mean I shouldn't take it. You know what I mean? And That's why, again, if you are experienced, I really put an emphasis on that. If you are experienced enough, you've been trading for some time, you know your model, and you know the pair that you trade, then yeah, you can maybe break your rule, maybe one rule like every once in a while. But again, as long as majority of the times you are following your rule, I'd say you're good. You know what I mean? Don't go in every single day over trading, taking more than 2 trades per day, fucking, you know what I mean, taking a gazillion trades every week. But it's okay to maybe break a rule. Maybe one time this week, let's say I took 3 trades this week, maybe one of those trades formed like 3 minutes past 12. Like, it's okay that I took a trade a couple of minutes past 12 o'clock. You know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. Like, it doesn't really, like, just because the trade is a couple minutes after my cutoff time, that doesn't make the trade invalid. You know what I mean? So for me, it's okay. Anyways, I'm just yapping. But that's maybe a tip for you guys, what I just said, the last fucking 4 minutes or so. That's an advice that I'd say. But again, really only do it when you are experienced. If you are trading in your first year, I'd say maybe just stick to your rules and just follow them strictly. But after some time, you can be a little bit more flexible when you're more experienced. Because again, good traders and experienced traders, they can adapt. Anyways, that was my trade today. A really nice short, 50-point stop, 100-point TP. Hit TP nicely. A nice 2RR. Again, I always target 2RR because it really helps you maintain consistency when you're only targeting a two risk to reward every single time. You stay really consistent. Let's say, for example, I got a little greedy today and I targeted like a 3RR. I would have gotten stopped out at break even. Look at how we came back all the way to break even. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm just happy with my 2RR strategy. Yeah. Again, if you guys want to join the VIP room, I had a live trading session today. If you guys want to join the VIP room, there's a WAP link in the description, or just DM me on Instagram at NQDemon or Discord at NQDemon. And that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's not going to be a video on Sunday and Monday because those are the 2 days that because Saturday and Sunday I don't trade, so I have nothing to film. So that's why I don't post on Sunday and Monday. So I'll see you guys in 2 days, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and take care.